After rallying in the third quarter of 2022, GDP declined by 1.3% in the fourth quarter, far worse than market expectations of a 0.4% contraction, largely due to the worsening power crisis.
And we know in Q4 of 2022, we had one of the most intense load shedding episodes. So all of this is driven by the load shedding that we have experienced. You can talk about the mining sector, you can talk about the manufacturing sector, you can talk about even agriculture.
7 of the 10 industries that make up the South African economy contracted. Finance, real estate and the business services industry shrank by 2.3%. Mining also fell despite a solid performance during the year. It was agriculture, though, that suffered the worst decline.
If you look in terms of the sectors that are contracting, 7 out of 10 sectors, except for personal services, construction and transport, all the other sectors contracted. And if you look at the energy intensity of the sectors that contracted, you can see it is the sectors that are reliant on electricity. Roughly about 30% of the agricultural field crops are reliant on irrigation, and when you have load shedding, you can't irrigate. So that's why we are seeing that 3.3 contraction in agricultural services. So it's really load shedding, self-inflicted of course, but it has been long coming. It's not something that is new.
This year has been by far the worst in terms of load shedding. There's no doubt the first quarter will also see a GDP contraction. Some economists expect a recession.
We might end up with a negative growth number again in Q1 because of the load shedding, given the intensity of where it started. Once we have Q1 negative, we are already in a technical recession.
A recession will just add to South Africa's economic woes. Just 2 weeks ago, South Africa was added to the grey list of countries for poor governance around money laundering and terrorist financing. It may take years before it can exit that list. An electricity minister has been appointed to help fix ESKOM. It's still too early to tell whether this will help. In the meantime, every single day of load shedding is costing the economy.